Hi guys, welcome to Danny the Don. Today I'm here previewing Brentford versus Leicester. Brentford's coming off a, unlucky defeat to Chelsea, but they'll keep their heads up high, and Leicester coming off a fantastic home win against Man United. Before them games I would have said Brentford would have fancied Leicester because they were on a little bit of a poor run, but Brentford were on a great run of form. This game's going to be hard regardless. Leicester are a fantastic team. They've got some great players like Jamie Vardy, James Maddison, some good defenders. They've got a great manager and the FA Cup holders. So regardless of the form, it was always going to be a hard match. I think Leicester will play the same similar football as Liverpool did. I think they'll try and make the game open and try and exploit gaps early and try and get as many goals as possible, compared to where Chelsea, they got the goal and they were happy and content, and to be fair, they should have conceded. Going on to the game for Brentford, I think Janelt and Asia was missed last game, and I don't think it was a case of really, really badly missed, but I think the team are better than two in. Again, I'm not sure when Janelt's back, but I know Asia was on the bench, so I expect to see him starting this game against Leicester. I think Frank might try and play a bit more attacking wise. I'm not his biggest fan, but I would not be surprised if Godos got on the team. But at the same time, if it's Jensen, Norgard and Yaka or Janelt's in there, then I wouldn't be surprised, of course. Wizard's injured at the moment, which is a big loss. He seemed like he's a quality player. But Mbemo and Tony have got a quality connection. They know each other, they play well with each other, and they seem to read each other's movements. Brentford will go in this game feeling confident that they can get a result. There's absolutely no doubt about it. This isn't one of those games gone before against ourselves, Liverpool, Chelsea, where I don't expect Brentford not to win. Brentford can get a win here. It's 100% an opportunity. What threat do Leicester pose? Jamie Vardy, as I've already said. He's a poacher. If you get him the ball, he's in the right position, he ain't going to miss. But the Brentford boys, all big lads, they're all younger than Vardy. They feel that they can handle him, but then everyone feels like that, and he always proves people wrong. Key battle for me, it's always going to be the midfield, but for me, I think it could be Brian and Tony up against the Leicester defenders. I'll be honest, I don't know what back four they've been playing. I think we've been playing the Turkish lad and Vestergaard recently. So if it's done two, I'd be very confident. Vestergaard for me is a bit overrated. Yes, the Turkish lad Sunshu is solid, but if you can get at him in bullying, I think there's every opportunity that Brentford could score. So, for a score prediction, I'm just going to ask a special guest to come in very briefly and give her score prediction. Ella, hello, welcome onto the show.
Hi.
So, you don't have to say much. Just, what's your score prediction, Brentford versus Leicester?
I think it might be either like 2-1 to Brentford, because we did have the loss against Chelsea. It wasn't a major loss that bothered our place in the table, but it was still a loss. So I think this week we might come back, and Leicester have been amazing at the moment, so it'll be difficult, but I think we might win.
So what do you reckon the score will be?
2-1 to Brentford.
And I've just got another cameo very briefly. Just going to give you a score prediction. Laura, what do you think the score will be, Brentford versus Leicester?
Another tough game, but we're at home. With the fans behind us, we're strong. I reckon we're going to win 1-0, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't see that being a silly prediction. I think that's very likely, especially how Brentford have played this season. Thanks, girls, for coming on for your brief predictions. I appreciate it. Going on to my prediction, I think Brentford will win this one. I think Brentford are going to win this one 2-0. Anyway, guys, this is it for this time. Give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Alright guys, welcome back to Danny the Don. So this is a bonus part of the video. We've got someone on here for their debut. Please welcome Rhys. He is a Brentford fan. Firstly, Rhys, thanks for coming on. How long have you been a Brentford fan? And going on to Brentford, how would you rate the season start so far?
Hi, thanks for having me on here. I've been a fan since 2001-ish, around the Wally Downs era. And I'd say the start has been very good, and overall I'm very happy. But little things and little moments against Palace and Villa, where we could have turned 1 point into 3, have maybe led me to giving a harsh score. But I would say it's about an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10.
So, Leicester at home, what threat do they pose? Is this going to be another tough home game, or do you think this is definitely a chance to get another 3 points on the board?
Daka, Vardy and Tielemans are the three players that I've marked out as their most dangerous threats. Leicester have had a shaky start to the season, but will no doubt be buoyed by the big result against Manchester United at the weekend. As a whole, I think they've gone a little bit under the radar due to their mediocre start. And I know it's a cliche, but there are no easy games in the Premier League. And I think this Leicester game epitomises that, considering the last two times we've played them at our ground, they've beaten us twice, they've looked good doing it, and never really looked like they were going to lose it. So it's a tough one. But at the same time, it is hard to go against the Brentford Roar because we've seen its impact against Arsenal. We've seen the impact it had against Liverpool. And it's so almost brought the chances for us against Chelsea. But there's a chance for 3, but I wouldn't be sad if we only took 1.
How do you see this game playing out? Where do you think the key battle will be? How do you think both teams will play? And do you think there'll be plenty of goals in this game? How do you see it going?
I think they'll be wary of our threats more than we will need to be of theirs. Obviously, they played here in the FA Cup last season, but it wasn't with a packed out stadium. And I think that is such a key role that we play, that we can will the team on to get results. And for me, I think if we can hold the midfield, we hold the game. Because a lot of their creativity comes from the midfield. A lot of our creativity can come from midfield. I personally look to start Onyeka or Baptiste, maybe even both, just to have the engine room constantly running with Norgard playing like the cruncher role. But I think there's also like a second key battle, which would be the wing play. Because I'd go as far as to say that Canos has been our best player of this season, without a shadow of a doubt. So if we can control those two areas, I think we stand a real good chance of actually finishing that game with 3 points as opposed to 1. So hopefully that happens.
So before I ask your score prediction, just briefly on Ivan Toney, what's your views on him? How impressed have you been with him, especially this season? Is he someone that you need to keep, well, as long as possible, or if the right offer comes in, would you think the club will accept it?
Ivan Toney, what more can I say that hasn't already been said? He just does Ivan Toney things. We know how great he is, and since getting that goal at Villa, he seems different. He seems like that predator he was in the Championship. And every game since, he's thriving on the challenge. He's thriving on us giving him the support. He's thriving on Frank and his guidance. But will he stay? I don't know. Before the Newcastle takeover, I was a little bit more confident because I'm expecting about a £50-60 million offer or like total fee for him to be like taken away from us. But now with the Newcastle takeover, it makes it possible because they'd have the money, they have the means, he'd be a guaranteed starter, and he has something to prove. He always plays with a chip on his shoulder, and I think the fact that he didn't work out in Newcastle bugs him. So the chance to go back and say, I belong here, might be too hard for him to turn down.
Thanks for coming on, Rhys. Before I let you go, what do you think the score line will be? Give me a score prediction.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Now with the score, I think I've got to back our boys. 2-1 to us. Embuemo to score and not hit the post this time. Please, Brian, please. And I'm going to also go with Pontus to get his first Brentford goal. So yeah, that's what I reckon.